And well done to all these players. And we are going to be moving into the grand finals, TrippleBrofist versus DEFCON. And will be the same format. The winner of this will take $100 to their PayPal accounts. And hopefully they set them up so I can pay them. And for all those still waiting on the prize money from Funcom, I will be investigating that again. Apparently it gets all the way through to the accounting lady and then she fails somehow. But she has paid out some more people, but it's a constant nag at the moment. But I am nagging on your behalf, and I think about 50% or plus have got it now, but there are still a few more waiting. But rest assured,
Funcom so stingy.
Yeah. They got reinvestment for X amount of millions, but they can't afford €1,000. But no, they can, and they're sorted out. But they've asked me to go investigate who hasn't been paid, and I will again. But that will get sorted. All right. So, but back to this grand finals, you will get your prize money. Woohoo! What do you think? What do you make of this matchup? Because we've got the Alchemist versus the Pomp. We got double gunner if that's going to be the case. Visteria versus Joho on the gunners, and then Shaw and Musashi.
Shaw playing the Ranid, Musashi on the Nomad.
Yeah, so not a big difference between them. Definitely some great momentum bloodlines in there. I mean, Ranid Assassin can really pull you apart. Gunner, both the gunners can be so dangerous if they just hit a couple of crucial shots in the right moment. And we'll have to see what kind of defensive or offensive pressure Musashi's going to pull out on his Nomad, because so far, he's had some really great games, especially with Visteria. But I've always liked the Psychopomp of Lana. He's really picked the right moments to be offensive and defensive, and that's really crucial. And that's something we've seen a lot from Chip Cyan on his Alchemist. Eckstein has more or less had his two other members be so aggressive that he hasn't had to kind of join in. He's been more surviving, so we'll have to see if that's going to still be the case here for TrippleBrofist, but should be a great grand finals.
Yeah, and right now I'm just thinking of all the setups and what the advantage might be. I'm going to give it to the Cold team, not because they have the 78% advantage, not because they have grade 23. Who cares about that? These are the top 8 teams that are playing in the 3v3 ladder in this tournament. So they're roughly about the same skill level. Some teams couldn't make it today, but regardless, top players in the game. So they're roughly about the same skill level. But the composition on the Cold team can actually play a bit better against what's going on in the Worm team. You have Ranid for the stun combo, which can, set up for an execute or a sleep to execute. And Lana playing the Psychopomp can actually mitigate all that damage by saying, other side, good luck, or, a goo to, execute. That none of that will be able to come out because swap, then you have other side, the Scream to stop like a lot of bursty combos from Ranid. Wisteria, doing a good job on that gunner. So double spell lock on this Cold team, going to be very crucial against Blood Champ. Also, if they decide to go offensive, you can shoot gunner from a distance and get on him once the barrier is down. If they decide to do a swap, or even if one team member goes down, there's not much chance to come back. So I'm going to have to give the composition-wise to the Cold team, but if Shawyer can get in, dodges those, spell locks, and finds one person out of position like Musashi, then that'll create more of an opening because the other side will go down. So as strong as it is, it can go down if, they perform correctly and force the other side early, then they jump in very aggressive. It's all going to depend on Eckstein on the Worm side once that happens. If he can CC somebody else, especially Lana, if he can CC Lana, they can work on Wisteria and Musashi. And if he can get that deadly injection on Musashi...
I just want to make an announcement. Do not refresh the stream, by the way. Own3D are having problems, like serious problems. If you refresh the stream, basically you won't be able to get on the stream again. So if you're here watching, you are one of few lucky people that will get to see the grand finals. I haven't been told how I should fix the problem because it's not a problem that I personally have. I can't fix, unfortunately. So just don't refresh. you know, some of you might have been trying to refresh because you might have had some lag, and the lag was coming from their side as well. So rest assured, though, you know, I have VODs. Of course, everybody wants to see it live, you know, and that's something that we all wanted you to see as well. But I'll work it out, you know, for the next time. And if I have to use Justin TV, I'll use that, because I'll change to whatever will run smoother for everybody. So we'll find out, and I'll have a word with Own3D. I'll be like, yo, what up, Own3D? You'll be like, you messing with my tournament? And what rank are they, by the way? It's like rank 23. Wow, yeah, veteran blood guards over here for DEFCON versus the rank 21s of TrippleBrofist. But here we go, grand finals cast. Joho, X-Teen, and also Short going to be playing versus Musashi from the Netherlands, Lana, and also Visteria, and Visteria on that gunner. We have to see who's going to take it. It is going to be the same format. It's going to be a best of 3 maps still, and of course we are going to have the best of 5 rounds. And already opening up with the first attack was Musashi with the wind bomb.
Yeah, and it looks like Char going to try and find an opening onto Wisteria. He has that barrier for that extra movement speed, as well as the camo, and look at this. Cold Team gonna collapse back, but this could be good for Musashi if he does get some heals, because that X-Strike can control that space. Warm Team is backing up just a little bit, saying, hey, we're not going to fall into your trap quite yet. We're going to wait for a better setup, wait for us to get in position. And Wisteria just missing. Good moving and then using abilities by X-Teen over here. Although he's letting Char get a little bit low and the rockets come out, not going to do as much as needed. And Joho gonna get X-Striked, and man, he was so in deep as a gunner. Not looking so good. And Musashi just going to be thrown out the boomerangs. That is not looking pretty. Again, stuck in the corner, walls nearby, nowhere to go. And X-Teen getting spell locked a little bit by Wisteria, so healing potion wasn't there. And they just took a lot of, you know, damage from the chip.
Yeah, and everyone's stream basically froze. So Own3D .tv unfortunately got owned. So that sucks. Yep. So no one's watching. It's just me and you, Cast. You ready for the grand finals?
Is Own3D really down?
It might be.
I might stream if needed. So it depends on what happens.
We'll find out. So here we go. Into second round, of course, and Short gonna try and open up and see if we can get a little bit more pressure. Musashi actually gonna land into a sleep, and almost, I think a blind came in there as well. So a lot of CCs kind of being thrown down, maybe recklessly, by the Warm Team, as they you know, still getting their health chipped away at, you know, more than the Cold Team so far. Musashi hits another nice wind bomb onto the gunner, which is still the one that he wanted, and apparently Steve-O from the admin from Quake Live, QuakeCon, is still watching. So we've got Steve-O watching. So yes, we're casting for Steve-O right here in the grand finals, as Musashi still getting pressure, going to get other-sided, as he's now going to unleash his ultimate. Does get a decent amount of damage onto the gunner, but gets put into a goo from the Warm Team, trying to walk out of it, but Shaw came through with an ultimate of his own, and that Venom Lunge was going to cause the first kill for the Warm Team. And I doubt we're going to see an exchange this round. And
I don't think so either. And yeah, look at that. Rockets, Sharier just going to be finishing up Lana right there. Wisteria not able to do as much this time. And if we take a look at the boards, X-Teen did a little bit more damage. Granted, it was Crippling Goo, but he got the right target in it. 63 damage in Crippling Goo. That's pretty good, especially since it only lasts, I think, 4 or 5 seconds, if that. And a Deadly Injection, which early on got Musashi down to half HP, forced the other side from Lana, and then, you know, Joho and Char were able to do some work, because limited cooldowns, you can do your burst at that point, and it was all set up because of a Deadly Injection, the only one that he hit. So, you know, we're just going to have to see if he can get that combo again, and if the Cold Team is going to fall into the same trap. They are trying to...
Yeah, so Joe almost hit a really nice spell lock there, but didn't manage to hit the silencing shot. Shohei is in the midst of a battle, but doesn't get any opener. There's an opener onto Musashi. and he's going to have to get heals. We've got an Invis double execute there from Visteria into an ultimate, and he's going to spread the ultimate across both the DPS, so Extinct has a lot of work to do. Musashi sees the opportunity, comes in with haste, opens up with EX Boomerang, but nothing's going to come of it. But still, the pressure hasn't been taken off the Warm team here. Extinct having to put a shield onto Johai. That's going to be taken off. There comes a bomb. There comes a silence onto the Alchemist. And a good invis there from Joho to, you know, relieve himself from getting owned really or killed. But this is still really, really bad spot. Shaw comes in with a double Venom lunge. Musashi gets stunned and he goes down. Ooh. And what a turn of events. The Warm team, you know, both the Gunner and the Ranid just playing either side of the Alchemist as defensive as they could. And Visteria and that Nomad not being able to lock down the kill. And that is sometimes the, you know, where you don't have the benefits of playing double ranged. Sometimes it's great to have, you know, that kind of Spearmaster or a Ranid Assassin, you know, playing on that front line, and Visteria there, you know, getting healed up by Extinct. Visteria going down, but Extinct heating up his whole team. So great play by him. But
yeah, I'm gonna have to agree.
Low on the damage.
Yeah, a bit lower. And one thing I want to call attention to is Joho and X-Teen were low. And then Shawier's like, I've got to go and create some pressure. So he went in the front lines pretty boldly and actually distracted Wisteria and Lana from killing X-Teen and Joho. So that was a good job right there. They were like, oh, we can kill Shawier, but they forgot about their other targets who were in much more of a prime spot to be killed. So, you know, I got to give credit to the melee thinking instead of just playing back even with low health, going in, supporting the allies by putting that counter pressure. You know, a good offense is a solid defense. Oh. And we're going to go in here, Joho 50%, Shawier being CC'd, looking for that execute lineup. Going to be a little bit early. The X-Strike coming out. And uh-oh, Guardian Angel Wings coming out from Lana there. Sleep broken by missed camouflage as the stun did not come out, and Shawier gonna be jumping in still. Wisteria with the ult, and yep, Joho rocket jumps out. Nice double Venom lunge right there, and James, I'll let you take this.
Yeah, no, a good double Venom lunge, but the pressure's still not off for either team. I mean, Musashi is a key player here. He's the one that can make something happen. He's got a good amount of health. They've got Joho having to actually heal himself. Ultimate comes in, and it was a good ultimate. Where's the win? Where's the strike? And in fact, he's just going to get a other side to get out of there. Shaw comes in. Oh, and he jumps into an X-Strike. Going to have to camouflage away. And, well, X-Teen takes a really long-range execute shot. There comes a silence onto the hill, and X-Teen actually avoids most of that ultimate, but by doing so, he had to let one of his teammates drop. Throws his ultimate. That's going to be nullified by a rocket jump, and that's the round that they desperately needed here, the Cold team. That's going to bring them 2-2, but, you know, as you were saying, Cast, so really good play by everybody here, really, in the grand finals. But you know, Visteria is doing a great job on those front lines as a gunner. He really is. I mean, 700 damage. You know, hitting some really crucial kind of silencing shots, especially onto the Alchemist. You know, which almost scored him a kill last time, but this time, you know, locked down those heals and allowed Musashi to get the kill.
Looks like they're calling for Skype as their Mumble server is lagging out hardcore. That happens to our Ventrilo server sometimes. Not exactly sure what's going on. But I don't know if that's technically in the rules and what that's going to do in terms of positioning and the rune spawn, which will come earlier. I know a lot of people have called for earlier rune spawn so that if you take the mid, you are rewarded rather than just waiting, you know, 35 seconds into the game. As, uh-oh, yeah, X-Teen knows it. He's gonna try and get it. He's gonna ninja that rune. Oh, no. Yeah, is he? No. Gonna just do a box around it. Not quite. What are the rules on this? Can you just call, like, timeout?
I think this is more of they're honoring the other team, because technically in the rules, like, you know, you wouldn't need to stop if the other team had problems with their voice comms. You would stop if they had problems with the game. But you know, so what they're doing right now, it's very nice, but of course we're only going to have like a 15-minute game, so if they want to restart, you know, I'll probably be fine with that, since nothing's happened, but of course that will be Rex's choice as admin. So we'll see if they're going to, you know, play the final round on a second time, which I'm sure they will. And is Lana having problems with voice comms, so maybe they should just go in-game VoIP.
And no. No.
In-game VoIP for the win.
In-game VoIP, it's turned off by default, but yeah, a lot of people don't even know it's there because it's turned off. Apparently, it costs you guys too much money to just have it auto on.
No, it's not.
So,
no, auto on's fine. It's not a problem.
oh, well, that's not what I heard.
Oh.
Oh, whoops. But
You've been
yeah.
speaking to the intern. He doesn't know anything. We tell him that we got no money, so we don't have to pay him.
Oh, really?
We're actually we're minted. We're just saving up so we can, just swim in it, like in DuckTales. That's our goal.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I know. What was his name? Donald or Scrooge Duck? I don't even know. That was a long time ago. I had a bad childhood. Never watched cartoons too much. I was forced to do yard work.
Good. And it's paid off.
My dad said builds character, and I guess it got me here, right?
Yeah. So yeah, we'll have to see what's going to happen. And yeah, a little bit disappointing. Some stream problems in the grand finals, but I'll get the VODs. And next week, if it looks like it might happen again, I will move on to another platform. But of course, if you have managed to tune in and are with us, you know that we're in the grand finals of the first GLHF.GG February Championships for week 1. This will score you points for next week, which is the final. So all the teams here in the top 8, if they choose to turn up next week, they will get in. Obviously, in March, we're going to have 3 qualifiers to make the grand final. So you're going to see a lot of changing in the leaderboard. And just to explain that a little bit more clearly, you play in either a weekly championship, a weekly tournament, sorry, and and your finishing position in the tournaments will award you points. Your points will then decide if you qualify for the monthly finals of the championship. So the February championships only had 1 qualifier week and 1 grand finals, which is next week, which basically means if you're in it now, you're in it next week as well. But in March, we're going to have 3 tournaments prior to the grand finals. So you have every week to play and fight for points, and then the top 8 after those 3 weeks will go into the March finals, where there will be I think $600 for first place, and also some in-game titles. So we'll have to see what the status is on the okay. Alright, so I actually think I can fix the stream here.
Oh, can you?
Yeah, I think I can fix the stream. So I'm going to take a 2-minute timeout, and I'm going to work with my technical dude, Trance, while these guys fix their mumble. But we'll be back momentarily, so don't go anywhere. And hopefully when we come back, everyone will be able to join us. So give me a momento.
Oh, they're wondering why I'm not streaming, because my stream doesn't F up.
It would F up. It's not my
No,
fault.
I broadcast to US East.
Can you broadcast that we're back live, by the way?
With what live?
We're back live on the air. We're taking over the internet.
Taking over the internet? That'd be pretty awesome, just 2GD and cast rampaging around the internet, doing whatever they want. I think the internet would become a much worse place, to tell you the truth.
Where's my dev broadcast cast?
Your dev broadcast? What? Hey, you said you were taking care of those.
No, I'm not doing it.
What?
We should let people know we're back, just so before we get into the grand finals again for a second time.
Now I gotta open up my Google Documents, because I had all this stuff like ready to go, and then you're like, oh, I don't need it.
Welcome back to the stream. It is the grand finals. We're 2-2. Best games you've never seen in your life just happened. It was insane. Every single one came down to the wire.
Dude, that's why the stream was lagging. It was too epic. Own TV couldn't handle it.
But to tell you why there were problems, basically Own3D.tv, their European server that I was streaming to, bodged up and died or something, and so I've connected to their American server. So hopefully everything works. Hopefully everybody can get back on. Hopefully people still want to see the grand finals, and hopefully we're going to get a great grand finals. A lot of hoping here. I'm going to change my name to Hope Harding. But yeah, we'll see. So I think we're going to be ready once we get a dev broadcast from Cast with a K.
Oh yeah, I'm just preparing it. Hold on.
I want to see the dev broadcast. Then I'll
you're probably going to troll me now, aren't you? If I mess up.
Not gonna lie. Well,
Let's see.
maybe it didn't
Hey, here we go.
Finals
Simple.
Two Goods
It was
tournament. Why'd you
Yeah.
put it Two Goods tournament?
I don't.
Okay. All right. Well,
Well, it doesn't do apostrophes. That's unfortunate. Oh man, it puts a question mark instead.
it's
And
all
I don't
good.
have the unlimited character cap like you. So if I did any more, it'd start cutting off, and I'd see another golf clap. Good one, cast. Good one.
All right. So, guys, welcome back to the grand finals as I quickly change a subject there. But yeah, we're going into a 2-2 game. These guys have played won 2 rounds each. They're going to be playing the last round of the first map. The reason is like one of the team's voice comms dropped. I think it was
DEFCON
that had their voice comms drop, and they are still on the cold team, so that's good for me because the overlays work. And whoever picks up this will move on to map point for the grand finals here at glhf.gg, and we'll take the $100 for the team. And of course, all the bragging rights so far in the community, and hopefully soon we'll be able to see some more teams come through. But here we go, Joho on his gunner, Visteria on his. That's been a pretty epic fight. Musashi, really holding strong on his Nomad between both the gunner and also his healer, Lana. And we're back in. So here we go. Last round to take it.
DEFCON on the cold team, and TrippleBrofist on the warm, and jumping into a couple boomerangs right there, right off the bat. Remember, it is 2-2, ladies and gentlemen, as Joho, man, look at that huge damage coming out from Nomad. 1 X-Strike, 55, followed up by an M1 as well. So Shawyer thinking about going in, coming back out, and look at that space control right there. Musashi's doing a good job playing a little bit up. I would like to see a deadly injection sometime punish him for playing that far forward. Instead, he's just going to keep throwing out those M2 heals. He's got to rely on his teammates to not take damage, but that's not going to happen right here as Musashi with a nice ultimate. Good sleep into deadly injection, and Shawyer looking pretty low. Gonna get the rune, gonna try and maybe get a little bit more energy so he can get a triple Venom Lunge in combo with Joho's rockets. That'd be very wise for this warm team, as Xteen already has his ultimate.
Yeah, that ultimate is where it's at right now, because ultimate almost up for all 3 players off the warm team. But there we have Viseria uses his ultimate, doesn't build much pressure with it. Did do a little bit of damage. The cold team moving in, but I think this could actually end up hurting him, especially since that execute into spell lock came in from Joho there. He's got his ultimate. Shorehide does his. He only hits 1, and it was Musashi, but he's gonna get. Oh wow! Oh, there a swap came in, but wasn't able to take off the Venom Lunge. Explosion there, but Joho is in a dangerous position to be able to be dangerous, that is. Musashi going to have to control him. Extint throws his ultimate, doesn't do much, but he's going aggressive. Shorehide gets a 20 heal there, so that's a perfect heal coming in from Extint, and Joho needs to get out. There's a nice rocket jump, and really, Shaw here going to have a hard time if he wants to get back in, because he's so low on health, and there comes a scream into execute, but this one's not over yet. Joho has done more impressive things, and so far Extine going really aggressive, and that blind unlucky not to hit, as other side was probably wearing off slightly. There comes a scream. Oh wow, a swap onto Joho. Does a quick EX execute. Going to rocket jump away, needs to get a barrier or something. There's the barrier. Extine dodges the execute, puts us into tornadoes. Cool, and they do fight on, but it looks like it is going to be over, and that will be the warm team of DEFCON picking up the first map, and they'll move on to match point. And unsmiley face from Joho there, and I feel for him, because they had some really good opportunities, but one of the strengths that they had from previous rounds was Shaw on the Ranid Assassin was able to get in, really cause a lot of problems, and open up a lot of shots and damage for Joho. But they really shut down Shaw there, Cass. I mean, look at his tank damage, 663. 132 damage just from executes alone. So minimum of 3 executes there. So great play, and we're going to go into next map.
Next map indeed. It's going to be Dubaku. Same, has a long channel here, but a couple more corners. It has a higher, mid, and low level. That doesn't really mean a whole lot, except for line of sight issues. It's not like Heroes of New Earth, or where if you're on the low ground, you can't hit to the high ground as much. But what it does mean is that there's more separated gameplay, and each level of height has its own advantages and disadvantages. If you stay in the middle, which most teams do, You know, you could be backed up into your own corner, and it has, you know, pretty good space. On the bottom, you can't move around quite as much, but it's bigger than the top where there's those other walls and it's near the rune. So we'll just have to see how they play that out. And, you know, it's a very good map for nomads, especially once that range pressure, if they get any kind of foothold against Shawyer, if they make him take damage, then he's going to play more defensive. The whole Worm team is going to play back because Alchemist by nature isn't a very offensive bloodline. So if they get pushed back in the corner, Musashi's going to have a field day with those boomerangs.
Yeah,
because he can pretty much control almost all the spawn area.
I don't really see the pressure come. You know, the kind of pushback hasn't been there for the double ranged, you know, range play of Visteria and Musashi. They haven't really been able to push back. They have been able to kind of break through with a tornado's cool, but definitely, you know, sure, the secret of, you know, getting rid of this, you know, dangerous Ranid assassin here is just getting his health low enough that he, you know, doesn't want to risk coming into a scream, into a spell lock, you know, or into an EX, you know, boomerang storm, which will obviously slow him. So let's see how they handle that Ranid assassin. I'm sure Shaw's got some, you know, tricks of his own to be able to break through the cold team here as we move into second map of the grand finals. And once again, Musashi going to pick up the first attack. And look at this, Joho right down the bottom here going aggressive, but eats a little bit of damage early on, and Rocket jumps away into a blind. Tries to hit a blind of his own, but isn't going to connect. And once again, we can see Shaw getting a little bit low. There's a Tornado's Call, which, like, you know, we can talk about where they can push aggressively. And, you know, Musashi instantly went into a haste, tried to get some pressure onto Extine, but there was no backup from Visteria. And we are back to that range game with Shaw, you know, trying to create the openers. Nice screen, Blow Dance is going to be locked out there. Visteria doing a great job onto Extine, so really spread out. And you can see the Warm team's overall health dipping below half of what they started with, and even Joho taking his time to kind of heal up as Shawhai baits out. Nice play there by Shawhai, but he's going to have to watch out here, and there comes the Storms. He's not got a jump, and that's exactly what they wanted to do. Played into the hands of the cold team of DEFCON, and you know, left with just two members left. Now they're going to be able to lock it down. Alchemist hasn't been playing offensive pretty much for the whole time until now, throwing out some, you know, mouse wands, but overall, you know, they're getting rid of that, you know, Ranid assassin. They're, you know, locking him down, and maybe Joho needs to, you know, kind of back him up a little bit more here. I'm not sure what the difference should be, but so far they look solid here, the cold team of DEFCON.
Yeah, and it's very hard because a lot of teams, you know, they're like, oh my gosh, Nomad, Gunner, Psychopomp, that's just a raffle comp, and then you try and play, you know, triple range like this, and you can get squashed by melee pressure. What they're doing on the cold team is very interesting. They're always coming back, reforming, rezoning, and doing a very good job of support. And really, a lot depends on, as much as I keep talking about Musashi, it really is. Like, you know, he's got the wind strike. If he can sprint by Lana, get rid of the Nomad when he tries to come in. He's got the tornado throw. And, you know, it's just all depending on the kind of control he brings to the field. And right now, see, Shawyer can't even go in because he's afraid of that X-Strike. Then look, he can't do any kind of pressure because of the tornado. Then he's slowed from the Boomerang Storm. And Wisteria in that time has the ultimate, but still not doing a whole lot.
But what Shaw's doing at the moment, apart from just eating a huge amount of damage there, you know, he's giving time for Joho to make something happen, and he has, you know, doing some damage. You can see, you know, they have got ultimate on X-Team, but he hasn't been using that much, so maybe some ranged, you know, good EX Deadly Injections should come in. Shawhai there being separated now from his healer. That's the worst thing that could happen for this Warm team, and Musashi going to be looking to put the pressure on, but this could be dangerous. Musashi didn't know what he had up there, had to be other-sided, and Visteria stood in the goo, and in comes a stun. He's got ultimate. There is a barrier, though, onto Shawhai. Joho having to get away from Musashi. Good dodges coming in, and Visteria could maybe come in and make something happen. He's stealth right now, looking for the execute. Here it comes, and wow, I think a Tornado's Call hit Extine just before, but they have lost Shaw once again. Rather unfortunate, and this probably won't be coming back in the favor of the Warm team. Really, really intense match there. So great play once again from Musashi. You know, he's really making his you know, presence known in the center of the map, a lot more so than the Ranid assassin right now. And just checking the damages and what he's tanked. He did tank the most, not the most damage. Wisteria did the most damage, but still great job in his positioning. And nice play there by Lana, who actually got MVP of that one. But Xteen, you know, he's doing a great job on heals here. But do you want him to be more aggressive? Because right now this is match point. This is if the cold team take it, grand finals and $100 are theirs.
Yeah, I mean, he's got to. Like, of course they got to switch something up. He just has to hit those abilities rather than like trying to get those really far range ones. Like, he could just try and walk forward a little bit more and try and get Musashi with the deadly injection or a closer sleep. Because right now Wisteria and Musashi, especially Musashi, has great movement speed, 170, absolute fastest in the game. As a range that's even more huge. But Shawyer, he could be going on to Lana, just dodges that execute though. So that's really good play right there. And look, Xteen just getting that healing, he has a full ultimate. He can use it right now on all three, and that would be pretty good, especially since Lana is just going to be healing off. In the meantime, Rockets come out, going to get that AoE off on the, you know, the Warm Alchemist, but Shawyer, again, not having a good time getting in. Spell locked, lunges down, Frog Leap just able to get out of the way.
Oh, wow,
Musashi
Wisteria misses the easiest execute, and now this is, you know, that could have been an absolute killer, but this looks like it could come back for the Warm team. Musashi hurt, blinded onto the gunner, and actually got hit by the execute while in Viz. In comes a barrier. Wisteria going to have to line something up here. There comes an execute. Misses. Xteen dodges that one nicely. And the Warm team have some momentum, but quickly been taken away. And in comes the X strike of death from Musashi, you know, who's been so prominent in this game. Great hit, but this isn't over. There comes Wisteria, misses his EX. Joho going to go in, goes in offensive, and Loin doesn't manage to land the heal. He landed short, and Joho once again ties up for his team. 2-2 game. Has he got a rocket jump available? He EX execute. Musashi is going to get away. Nice sleep, deadly injection. Perfect play here from Xteen, and look at this. No spacebar available. Joho's going to go to work on Lana. Xteen going to chase down the best he can the Nomad. That's a really hard chase though, and Joho's got to watch out here. Needs to swap onto maybe the Nomad. There comes EX Mortar. Big Bertha, sorry, comes out, and yeah, and that's a great comeback from the Warm team. And these guys once again having problems with their mumble, and you know, but this one should be over. One man to find.
That was good right there. And if you noticed a good combo, like Musashi really did something, overextended a little bit too much, got a little overconfident. He used a sprint to try and chase Shawyer. Then Xteen got a deadly injection on him. Joho actually finished up with some damage onto Wisteria. And that, you know, because Musashi was low, Lana had a hard time figuring out which person to heal. And, you know, right now we're just going to see it easily collapse in favor of the Warm team. But, you know, overextending that one little bit, even if you have the advantage, if it is not a sure kill, and if you cannot, like, definitely get it, you will be punished and you will be turned around on. And that's what's so good about this game. You might say, oh, well, as soon as your team gets low, you're screwed. No, not quite. If they mess up, then yes, you can come back. But, you know.
A lot of mistakes being forced, on either teams here. And it's really tricky for the positioning to kind of break into the other team's, you know, kind of vulnerable areas. You know, no one's really taking, you know, getting a really strong advantage. Xteen here taking a lot of damage at the top, but Wisteria once again going low. There's a Shore at the bottom having a hard time. Wisteria is going to line up the execute. Looks like it could hit. Hits Xteen. Follows in with a nice combo of spell lock into blind. Shorehai, you know, Shore being pretty good and actually not being too offensive, hitting some nice frog leaps as well. Once again, Wisteria looking for that execute, misses it. Shorehai comes in with barrier, hits a couple of blow darts, and Lana is going to get a good swap, but instantly out of it, Joho goes, and we've had a Venom lunge here, going to be exploding on two players, and I think Shorehai has really got some momentum here. Shore, sorry, he's going to look to kind of go in, make something happen, hits the leap, gone camouflage, he's going to open up surely afterwards, instantly on, doesn't get the stun, and Wisteria gets away there, and a nice blind into a second blind, and this is really different here from the Warm team, going to be tying us up surely at 2-2, and, you know, just good coordination. When the healer was having problems, Shaw didn't go in offensively. When he wasn't in a bad situation, Shaw knew he could pressure. And one of the big differences we've saw is that Shaw focused a lot onto the gunner there, really did. And the problem that I've been seeing with Joho so far is that Musashi has really been trying to lock him down. Every wind bomb coming out has been aimed at the gunner. So both of the teams trying to lock down that gunner, because that gunner is the burst damage. And, if he gets that burst, he changes the momentum of the game so quickly.
Especially with, Ranid having, I think, maybe 165 or like 155 HP, one of the two. If you can get a back hit for 52 damage and execute, that's huge. You're already down a third of the health, and if you're eating X strikes afterwards due to the mini stun and, just trying to get in, look at this, that could completely change the game, as you keep saying. And right now, this Cold team playing a little bit more back. They're a little bit concerned at what this Warm team is putting out right now. And Shawyer, again, going on to Wisteria. Musashi not focusing on the Rand. He's trying to get X-Teen, but good job. He's moving and healing. Almost got a deadly injection out right there. Would have been good if he hit that. But right now, Shawyer, Spell Lock Blade. Fury going out.
Great fight down at the bottom. And Joho actually maybe extended himself a little bit too much. But we have to see as Aloyna gets away. As with the other siding, Shawhai gonna just eat a couple of face rockets. He's like, I must get counter kill, and this is probably going to be it for the Warm team here of TrippleBrofist, who came in, last to qualify for the tournament. Shawhai going to be swapped, and X-Team going to go down, and this is all going to be over. So it is going to be DEFCON. Who came in, I'm not sure what seed they came in, but they did take the grand finals 2-0. Pretty intense games there right at the end. Some really good jousting between the gunners. Nomad making a huge difference, but also great to see Shaw on the Ranid Assassin really kind of pulling apart the team when he played well. And of course X-Teen holding strong for his team at the back, but of course a little bit stronger was Lana on that Psycho Pomp. So big congratulations to DEFCON. Going to be winning $100 and of course guaranteeing themselves a spot in the championship finals, which will be next week Tuesday. And of course that will once again invite the top 8 teams, not this time from the ladder, but of course the leaderboard on the glhf.gg, which is earned every week via tournaments. You will earn points, and we'll be seeing them again, and they'll take #1 seed. So we'll have to see how much of a difference that will make in their run. But really impressed by TrippleBrofist here, Cast. Didn't know much about him before, but some really intense play.